Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Dion, and I'm back here with a Broncos versus Titan Week 14 recap. Man, this was a tough game for us Broncos fans. We desperately needed this W, so now we pretty much in a situation at 8-5 where we have to at least win the next two or three, or might have to win all three, depending on how the Dolphins and the Ravens fare in their next couple of games. So let me just get straight into this game. First quarter, once again, we cannot. It's like our offense cannot do anything in the first quarter, man. Field goal, touchdown, nothing. We struggle almost every game to put up points in the first quarter. It wasn't any different this game. I was actually, while watching the game, I saw a stat pop up that the Broncos have converted only 52% of about third and ones, which means we're not setting any tone physically. Offensive line is shaky. Our running backs are not fighting for extra yards because we sure do run the ball a lot on third and one, and we never pick it up from the games that I've watched. So we definitely need to improve greatly there. That's where we miss C.J. Anderson squeaking out an extra yard or two on runs, especially with this O-line being so freaking trash. The only bright spot on our O-line is Matt Paradis is our center, so our tackles can block. Horrible in the pass blocking game for sure, run blocking as well, but especially horrible in the pass blocking. Russell Kong, Donald Stevenson. So like it really is really hard to watch these games, man. We can't do anything on the ground. So that's what's prohibiting our offense from being any bit of successful in on the year. So after we get that done, maybe we have a chance of making the playoffs. But right now it's not looking too good for us, with our next three games being the Chiefs, the Patriots, and the Raiders. All of those teams who have 10 wins right now. So it's definitely a struggle. But let's get back into the game, man. So first quarter we struggled. They got the ball first, actually. So came right down the field, scored on us with pretty much ease. There was actually a play where if they didn't score on that first possession, they would have killed the rest in the post game press conference, because there was a play where freaking TJ Ward, they threw a screen. First Mariota bobbles the snap, picks it up, and was still able, like, he dropped the snap, picked it up, and still was able to hit Delaney Walker. And Delaney Walker behind the line of scrimmage, actually behind the quarterback, because when you look on the box score, it actually went as a rushing attempt. So he hit him behind the line of scrimmage and was able to get a first down off of that. Because he broke TJ Ward's tackle in the backfield. So I don't know how he broke that tackle. But TJ Ward, man, he's been flying a little recklessly lately, just missing a few tackles. I've been noticing him missing a lot of tackles this year. I guess he's just thinking that he can go straight arm strength and get some of these guys down, but he's been missing quite a few. So Delaney Walker takes that for a touchdown, but they rule him out of bounds at the 5, and that play was unchallengeable. So they actually got a call back, so no touchdown for them, but they end up scoring anyway on DeMarco Murray, I think 2-yard run. So that they took the lead right there, 7-zip. Next possession, we get the ball, and one of the few times that we actually pick up decent yards on the run, Justin Forsett fumbles it on his first carry of the game. They pick it back up. The defense, of course, does its job like it usually does, saves our ass. And we hold them to 3. So right there, we're already down 10-zip on the road against Tennessee, and their defense is actually playing pretty good. Their corners aren't really too good, but they get enough pass rush to kind of shield their corners. So it was a lot of pressure on Simi in this game. He actually played pretty good considering the pressure and the penalties that are going against us. There were maybe about three to four passes I think he missed. There was one on the first drive, actually. I think it was the AJ Derby on the out route. Commentators were saying he was slow getting out of his break, but I don't know, man. It still was a missed throw on his part. Then there was another one to, who was it? Oh yeah, Emmanuel Sanders down the left sideline with a corner, just got a hand on it. That was pretty good defense, but the ball was slightly underthrown. What else? There was the two other passes. I'll probably remember it when I start talking about the second half and everything like that. But yeah. So we definitely struggled to move the ball, and we lead the league in 3-and-outs, which is crazy. But yeah. So first half struggle. We actually had a chance to score before halftime, which kind of screwed us over, where we got a holding call against Donald. I think it was Donald Stevenson that got called back. That took us pretty much out of the distance because we used our timeout. I don't know why we used the timeout instead of just spiking the ball, but we used the timeout that we could have desperately needed in the first half, and then we didn't have any in the like where's like 30 seconds going down, so kind of screwed us there. We didn't get no points before halftime thanks to the holding call, and then going to the second half, we just lock up, man. The defense does what it does every week. We lock up on defense. Offense is still struggling to move the ball. Third quarter was just nothing special happened in the third quarter. Everything came down to the fourth, so we can kind of move on there. We're not completely locking the run up, but we're playing better and we're tackling better, which is the key thing, man. We had some guy, Zaire Anderson, stepping up. I think Bam Davis, if I'm not mistaken, he got injured. I'm not sure if he ever came back, but I don't remember seeing him come back. I don't even see him on the injury report from what I looked at. So hopefully he's good. I think it was either a hip or ankle injury, but hopefully he's good, especially because we're thin that middle linebacker with Brandon Marshall missing this game. I'm hopeful he'll be back next week, so we definitely need him there because we're definitely undersized. We definitely have a bunch of undersized middle linebackers, and against that huge Titans offensive line, we could have used Brandon Marshall big time this week. So can't really afford those injuries. So fourth quarter comes down. I think. Actually, we're going to go to my Twitter, man. I have a picture. This was in the beginning of the fourth, man. Actually, when we got the ball back. Fourth down. We drive down the field. I don't even know why. I don't understand why we ran the ball on second down on this drive. We couldn't move the ball, running the ball at all. So we pretty much wasted it down there. But we got to fourth down. I know you guys see this picture. I'm going to go through a few shots. This is to show you what we could have maybe had a better chance of scoring a touchdown if Simeon holds the ball a little longer. But, wrong thing. But this was him on fourth down. Look at the time, 14:50. This is before he threw the ball in the back of the end zone that went out of bounds. Pretty good defense there. Look at this next shot. You see him right here on the bottom left. I don't know if you guys can see my mouse pad or whatever you want to call it, the clicker. Look at Emmanuel Sanders in the bottom left towards the left pylon. The corner in front of him is facing Demaryius Thomas in the back of the end zone. So pretty much this linebacker is looking at Simeon. He's eyeing Simeon. So I feel like if Simeon would have pushed towards the line of scrimmage, as you guys can see in the tweet or whatever, if he would have pushed towards the line of scrimmage, it would have forced this linebacker to come up, play Simeon, and then Emmanuel Sanders next to the bottom left pylon could have cut back inside, and that would have been an easy touchdown. But he lets the ball out. He lets the ball out too soon. I think he should have let the play kind of develop a little bit more, and that cost us on fourth down. So. That's the third play I think he messed up. I'm not saying he would have that definitely would have happened, but I think there was a better chance of that happening because it looks like Emmanuel Sanders is about to run towards the inside as well. So you guys I looked over the game film. I didn't go back to it once again to see if he actually cut back, but this was the view they showed us from the replay, and I thought this was actually a pretty good view to see what could have happened because this guy in the back of the end zone is chasing DT, in the corner in front of Emmanuel Sanders is chasing DT. So it's a lot of green open field here on the inside. So, and if the linebacker would have so happened to play Emmanuel Sanders, turn around and place him because he knows where he's at. Travis Simeon, I think with his speed, he might have had a chance to run in for a TD here. Might have took a hit, but definitely had a chance to run in for a TD. I think there was another clip I want to show. This was another key play in the game. This drop touchdown by Benny Fowler. Look at where the ball is, man. Great placement of the ball, and this guy drops the touchdown. And this was like 2nd and 15, and of course we didn't score. We ended up getting a field goal. Oh, and to go back to speaking about that last possession on fourth down where we didn't get it. That's one of the situations where I actually miss John Fox because we know he's super conservative. He's always about playing it safe, and he would have took the 3. And guess how much we lost by? 3 points, a field goal. So that could have been a huge game changer if we would have took the 3 there. But I still think we should have. I mean, I'm not mad at the decision to go for it on fourth down because the Titans were running the ball pretty good, even though we slowed them down in the second half. But yeah, man, I can't be too mad about that. So actually, he drops this TD. We end up settling for 3. We get the ball back once again. I think this was the second to last possession where he drops the TD. So we get the ball back again, and of course, the Patriots, man. I gotta give it up to Bill Belichick, man. They really put a mole in our camp, man. They send us Derby, and this was their plan all along. Make sure, when the Broncos get close to making the playoffs, I want you to ruin their season, and that's pretty much what he did. That's why you by fumbling the ball on the last drive. We had about 50 something seconds left on our own 40. I think we would have gotten in position to score the game winning field goal. I mean, the game tying field goal sent to OT, or even maybe score the TD there. Who knows? But the way our offense is looking in the second half was pretty well in the fourth quarter, especially because Trevor Simeon's been pretty clutch in the fourth quarter. The way our offense was moving the ball in the fourth quarter, I thought we actually have a chance to win that game. And just a few plays that really cost us this game, man. There were some other things that I want to talk about. Crap, I forgot. It's rolling on top of my tongue right now. Damn. Oh yeah, Devontae Booker, man. Man, I know he's a rookie. But this guy is killing me. This guy he's been horrible at evading tackles. He's not picking up any extra yardage. I know you guys gonna go to the last week game against the Jaguars, say, "Oh, look at that TD run," but for the most part, we need the power back. We need C.J. Anderson back because with this O-line, we've just been struggling to pick up any running game. I would say he's a one cut back, but he needs for him to excel in the NFL right now. He needs like a offensive line like the Raiders, the Titans, the Cowboys, because he's just not making anybody miss. Really, no elusive moves. Really, not squeezing out 2 to 3 extra yards on some of these runs that we definitely need with this O line. So, it's crazy when you see a 30. I think Justin Forsett is 32 years old or 30 years old. A 32 years old running back. Not even a physical back is taking your job already. He's already cutting into your snaps. He had more rushing attempts, and he fumbled. And still took more of the snaps. So that's just telling you a lot about Devontae Booker. Kubiak says he actually believes in him. He's gonna keep giving him those chances, but man, I don't know, man. It's not looking too good for us there. Of course, I want to give praise to the secondary. No fly zone did their job once again. Mariota was 6 for 20, 88 yards. That's pretty good, man. Also, we did a pretty good job on Delaney Walker, man. I thought he'd be the biggest X factor of the game because we struggle to guard running backs and tight ends for the most part. That's our weakest part. So, with that being said, I think we did a pretty good job today. Delaney Walker kind of there was only. Besides that missed tackle by T.J. Ward, I think Delaney Walker I know he caught a curl route for like 5-6 yards for the first down. And I think he caught like a little post corner or something like that for like 20 yards or something like that. So besides that, we pretty much had those guys locked up. We got beat one time over the top by any of the receivers. That was Rashard Matthews on Talib. And the defense is doing its job. The offense just has to step up, man. We need some offense. If you told me before the game that the Titans only scored 13 points, I'm like, yep, we won that game. I'm thinking we at least score 17 minimum on these guys. So I know our offense isn't great, but we still been managing to put up 14, 17 points a game. So pretty disheartening right there. We put up freaking 23 on the Chiefs, and we can't put up freaking 17 on these guys. So pretty heartbreaking, man. We definitely have to win our next games. The Dolphins, we're still in the 6th seed in the wild card, so we're still sitting in a pretty decent spot, I guess. But since our next 3 games are the Patriots, Chiefs, and Raiders, definitely have to win 2 of those 3. The guys that's behind us who have the best chance of probably overtaking our spot is the Dolphins, who just lost Tannehill. I'm not sure if he's out for the season. I think I read a report that said he might be able to come back week 17. But the Dolphins with Matt Moore, their next game is the Jets. They might be able to squeak out that win because the Jets are in full tank mode. It seems like they're letting everybody kill them. So they got the Jets. That's 50-50, I guess, because I don't know much about Matt Moore. I just know he's not that good. But the way the Jets are playing, who knows? So the Jets, they go on the road to the Bills. I can't see Matt Moore beating the Bills. And then the last week of the season, if the Patriots don't have the AFC number 1 seed locked up by then, they might play all their starters. Who knows what they're gonna do? Because I remember last week, they pretty much just gave it in and like, yeah, we're gonna run the ball every single play so we don't risk any injuries. So if they get into that mode, the Dolphins might have a chance to take us. So they could win 2 out of 3, and if we lose 2 games, we're pretty much done, and the Dolphins will probably be in there. Also, the Ravens have a tough schedule. Who they play the Patriots tonight. They play the Steelers on the road. They play the Bengals on the road, and then they have to play the Eagles. So those are four pretty tough wins. I don't see them winning three of those four games there. So I think we might stay ahead of. I think we might stay above those guys if we just happen to take out one or two games. So win one or two games. So with that being said, man, hopefully for my Broncos, we can turn it up here. The offense can finally start to do something because we desperately need these wins if you want to get in the playoffs, man. And shit, it's just tough, man. So, with that being said, that's my recap of the Broncos versus Titan games. I'm optimistic moving forward, but we definitely need to get that run game going, man. If Justin Forsett can do something and freaking the offensive line just block a little bit, man. Chill out with the false starts and the holdings, because at this point, every penalty is gonna kill us because of how bad our offensive line is. Every penalty is gonna kill us. So, uh, with that being said, I'm out of here, man. Peace. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the recap. Like, subscribe, leave some comments. I definitely want to see what you guys are talking about. Definitely want to see my Broncos fans are talking about. So, I'm out of here. Peace.